Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Well, everybody apparently now is talking about Jamie. Hey guys, how you doing? Today I'm going to be doing a review about one of my favourite musicals of all time. Everybody's talking about Jamie. It's one of the first ever musicals I ever went to watch when I first moved to London. It was absolutely amazing. The music was just so catchy. The acting was brilliant. The soundtrack I just absolutely took to. For those of you that don't know, everyone's talking about Jamie. It's a coming of age story about this kid that wants to be a drag queen. He's kind of at this point in high school where he's been kind of pushed to kind of talk about where he wants to be in life and where obviously kids want to be working after they've obviously graduated, and basically he just wants to be a drag queen. This is kind of like his coming of age story to actually tell everyone what he wants to do in life, and all he wants to do is to be a drag queen. One of the second times I went to see this show was only because, and obviously again because it's such a good show, one of my all-time favourite drag queens, Bianca Del Rio, she was starring as Coco Chanel, so I was like, yes, queen. I'm totally going to go see this show again, and again, it was just absolutely amazing. Honestly, the first time I watched this, when I got back home, I downloaded the soundtrack. I just really took to it. But talking more about the film, there was a lot of debate about the movie, actually. I think from people's perspective of watching it on the West End, there is a difference in energy. Obviously, when you go to a theatre, you do get so much energy, and the performance is just like, wow, it's like right in your face. The music's just so powerful. Watching it on the screen, it was pretty tame, but I can kind of understand what people were saying because there was a lot of debate about the performance, and it was just very, very mellowed out. But my opinion, I actually really, really enjoyed it. I loved the music. Max Harwood, I thought he did a really good job as Jamie. Musically, very good voice. Acting, very good. And it really touched me, you know, especially when I watched it at the West End. I just really took to it. I had no idea what it was about, and it just really got to me. It's such an emotional story. And for me, I mean, I think the first time I watched it, I was about 22, 23. So I was at that age where it was just kind of like I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. I didn't really have... I kind of had an idea of what path I wanted to kind of go on, but this you kind of really relate to. And you know, for anybody that wants to obviously be a drag queen, I mean, not to say that I want to be a drag queen, but I think this is very relatable to anything that you want to do. Obviously, on the path of where you want to go, you have no idea what to do. And you know, none of us really know what we want to do until we kind of put that into action. You know, it's more about getting the experience, finding out what you would really want to do in life, and maybe that isn't the thing you want to do in life. Maybe something kind of pushes you to try something different, and people end up trying all these different jobs. And yeah, so it's definitely a coming of age story. But no, this story is about Jamie. He's a 16-year-old. He's just turned 16. He's openly gay. He's being bullied. He's got all of his exams. He's having family trouble. He's having really bad problems with his father, and he's trying to get his father's approval. And for me, that's quite relatable because I used to get bullied a lot. Not necessarily for being gay, but more just the fact of being ginger. And when I moved to London, I really embraced that because it just made me stand out as a person. And, you know, I just really got on with that. And for people that, I honestly would say to anybody that if you have something that you find that makes you different, if you feel that's a negative, I would really just put a spin on that and turn it into a positive and actually use that as armour. And that's what I did. You know, a lot of people would talk about the fact that I'm ginger, and I would just kind of turn it into a positive, joke about it, and that's all you can really do. You just laugh about it and just push it off. And I know a lot of people get really, really badly bullied with certain things, like whether it's being gay, being ginger, whatever it is, you know, just really try and find the positive in that. And it is really easy to fall into that category where you are kind of surrounded with toxic people, but, you know, just push them away. And I think with Jamie, for obviously coming out as gay and obviously wanting to be a drag queen, it is that point in time where he is in school, so he obviously can't get away from all of that. And there is a message in this story where, you know, you're not in school forever. You know, once you finish high school, once you finish college or whatever it is, you then have the power to do whatever you want. You can surround yourself with people that love you. You can do whatever the hell you want to do. And that's one of the reasons I really love this film, and as a musical as well, because of the music. But it's really got that message that just really touches you, you know, and I would really recommend watch it. So in that respect, yeah, watch it. For those of you that haven't seen it, I'm sorry, but this is a spoiler review, so you might want to just kind of cut to the next video. If you want to check out more content on my channel, there's quite a few there, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about anything that I've been talking about. So please subscribe and like, and appreciate it, guys. Thank you. One of the things I really love about this movie is the relationship Jamie has with his mother. And it kind of makes me feel and think about the relationship I had growing up with my family. Because he's got really no one else to turn to. He's having such a hard time with his father. His father does not agree with the fact that he's gay or even wants to be a drag queen. I think mostly it's pretty much the whole kind of scenario that he is gay. And I think his father is just kind of like this hard, manly guy, and he's just kind of distanced himself away from his family. And I like the fact that you see all these snippets of Jamie when he's kind of a child. He's kind of in his platforms, he's in a dress, and I think it's kind of sweet. And you can kind of see this is what he really wants to do. He's really driven on what he wants to be, and he wants to be a drag queen. You know, for anybody that wants to be what they want should not be able to be limited to what they want to do. And for me, I was really fortunate because I wanted to be a film director, and I had my family, they were very supportive. Okay, given it's not anything like wanting to be a drag queen, but I'm sure if I wanted to be a drag queen, my family would be 100% behind me. As I know for a lot of families, obviously that's easier said than done. There's a lot of different families out there that have different kind of feelings towards about being gay, being trans, whatever it is, drag queen, anything like that. I know obviously this is the time where it is now becoming more accepted. You know, you've got Drag Race, which I have reviewed before. Comments below, let me know what you think about the new winner of Drag Race. But back to the point. But yeah, you can really get a sense of there's more acceptance these days. You know, everything's just so fluid. We live in such a different time now. If you think back towards the 70s and 80s, where it was just so difficult to live the way you wanted to, you know, now it's just changed so much. And even the time of me living in London, I've lived here for about 8 years. You know, I feel so much more accepted, you know, because I'm with people that are openly gay. I'm with people that are openly transgender, drag queens. You know, I do live in London, and obviously London is such a vast population of people that are just so driven to what they want to do. You know, and I meet people every day what they want to do, whether it's being anything, you know, absolutely anything. And it's just so refreshing to just talk to people about what they do, where they're going. And for me as a person, moving into London, it's really made me come out of my shell, because I was very I was a very quiet person growing up, and for me to just kind of come out the way I have, especially when I came out to my family as being gay, you know, that was such a relief for me. And I know there's a lot of people out there that still haven't done it, and easier said than done. Like I say, obviously with families it is a lot different, and a lot of people live with the fact of they don't really need to come out. They're perfectly happy the way they are. But for me, I obviously had to tell my family, because I moved here with my partner, so it was definitely something that I could not say to my family. And luckily for me, I had great acceptance. I had my family behind me, and I did it, you know. But moving on to the film again, another thing I found really interesting is the fact that one of the drag queens I used to see in the RVT down in Vauxhall in London was Myra Dubois. It was actually quite nice to see her in this film. Especially like with Bianca Del Rio, I think she's absolutely amazing. She is literally my #1 queen of all time, and I just think she's amazing. She is so funny. I've seen her twice in concert. She's filled out the Wembley Arena, and brilliant. I would recommend it. If you haven't already, you should really see her. She's really, really quite good. But yeah, Myra Dubois, if you ever have the chance to go see her, go see her. She's absolutely amazing. She's so hilarious, and she is a comic. She's absolutely hilarious. I would recommend you watch her if you're ever in London, if you're ever in Vauxhall at the RVT. Try and find out a date if she's actually playing, and brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. You will not be disappointed. But anyway, moving on. What I love about Jamie's character is that he's this kind of shy boy from the start. He does kind of have this energy about him, but when he's actually in drag, he just completely comes alive. He's a different person, as most people are when they get dressed in drag, because drag is something to be feared, as stated in the film. But I do like the whole transition in his character where he goes from kind of that shy boy to this kind of fierce individual, especially when he comes into school. There's this scene where he's kind of in this kind of scarf with his sunglasses, and he's just like, everyone's talking about me, and I'm like, yes, he's got that confidence. Ultimately, about this story, really needed to be told. And I think it has that message, the fact that, you know, kids that are growing up, that whether they're gay or whatever they are, it is important for them to feel like they're not alone. And I think this is a good example of a movie to actually show that, you know, there are people out there just like you. You're not alone, and just pursue your dream. You know, do whatever makes you happy. Do whatever you want to do, and never let anybody tell you, whether it's a family member that's really against what you want to do, whether it's someone at school you're being bullied, don't ever let them tell you you can't do something. Always do what makes you feel happy, and if you want to be a drag queen, if that's what you want to do, just go pursue that. Jamie's just a normal kid, you know, he's a normal kid trying to get through life and to do what he always wants to do. And for someone that is openly gay, you know, I really think this film does explore that factor, you know, for anybody, any age that is wanting to come out and feels that they can't. You know, it is important that they should know that they are loved, they've got support behind them, and there's a whole big community out there. And for me, London was my big community. I grew up in a very small village, and I felt very, not trapped, but I felt like I wasn't able to be who I wanted to be. And it did take me some time for me to actually get to the point where I could openly be who I was. And, you know, the main thing to remember is there are people out there that are behind you, that love you, and you know, there are people in the same situation as you. And I think this film is a clear example of that, you know, and for anybody that's in that frame of mind, you know, this film, I would definitely implore you to watch it, because it is a very emotional story about coming out. Twice if not, because it is about Jamie and he wants to come out as a drag queen as well. So anyway guys, what did you think of the movie? Have you watched it? Are you going to watch it? Please comment below, let me know, turn on notifications, and please subscribe to the channel. There'll be more content in future, and cheers guys, thanks a lot, bye.